Hello everybody, Tyler Williams here. Gonna do another Kaladesh Draft League. Kind of hoping to draft something sweet. I've been drafting a lot of aggressive decks lately just because they've all been passed to me, but looks like I might be going that route again. Because Skyship Stalker is one of the better rares. There's also Welding Sparks in this pack, which is a very good first pick as well. Not a whole lot else here in this pack. That you would be looking to pick one, except for maybe Shrewd Negotiation. This card's excellent. But it's pretty obvious that the Skyship Stalker is going to be the pick here. A little bit out of breath, I apologize. I ran up and down the stairs a few times. My personal computer is upstairs in my man room. So trying to get a little draft done while the kids and the wife have just fallen asleep, as is usually the time that I play Magic. Okay, so Voltaic Brawler is excellent. It's is one of my favorite uncommons. I guess that's why I'm drafting so many aggressive decks. Maybe I'm just biased toward them. There's also a Prophetic Prism if you want to stay open, but I'm not sure that that's the pick here. If we're going to be an aggressive deck, I think I want to take the risk, and even though this is a gold card, I'm very likely going to be in red with the Skyship Stalker. At least that's what I want to be. So I think I'm just going to pick the Voltaic Brawler here. I really think it's between that and the Prophetic Prism, and I'd rather just pick the more powerful card early. Even though Prophetic Prism does keep you open. We'll wait for everybody else to make their picks. Okay. Now what do we got? Well, we have a Hunt the Week. We also have a Thriving Rats, Propeller Pioneer. There's also a Sage, which isn't something that I would look to pick this early. It's Reckless Fireweaver in red, but it's not. It's a very synergy-based card. Those are ones that you tend to pick up late once you've started to build a red artifact deck. I think I'm just going to take the Hunt the Week here. I think that card is great. It follows our Voltaic Brawler pick, but Propeller Pioneer is certainly defensible. So yeah, I'm just going to take the Hunt the Week. When you're building an aggressive deck, it tends to be, your colors are either going to be red or white. Red-black doesn't usually work out quite as well because both red and black don't have a lot of great 2-drops. Especially red. Red really only has Thriving Grubs, whereas black has Thriving Rats, which is not as good as Thriving Grubs. And it also has Dund Operative and the Emerald Bruiser. Okay, here's a Built to Smash. Here's a Larger Than Life. Here's a Pima Outrider. I think the Pima Outrider is our pick here. We could continue to kind of cut off green. Built to Smash is a pretty defensible pick. Also, Inventor's Goggles. Built to Smash especially is like basically a 1-mana removal spell in this format. +3/+3 is excellent. It does come with the caveat that the creature has to be attacking, but when you're red and green, that's going to be the case most of the time. I'm just going to take the Pima Outrider here. Okay, so here's a Fretwork Colony, which I think is pretty interesting. But we've already picked 2 green cards. I do think it's important to stay open early, especially in Kaladesh, so that you can make a switch. But I think we've kind of honed in on at least one decent color here. There's also Spireside Infiltrator, which is okay, especially if you start to get some vehicles. There's an Appetite if we really wanted to continue to cut off green, and the first Appetite is excellent. You're going to main deck this, the first copy at least. There's another Built to Smash. It's possible that we wheel the Creepy Mold or the Appetite. Maybe I'll just take the Built to Smash. I don't know if this is right, but I'm just going to pick it anyway. If I'm going to be attacking, I want at least 1 Built to Smash in my deck, and possibly 2. And I would not complain about running 3 either. Okay, not a ton here. There's a Glint Sleeve Artisan, there's a Malphus Squad. Eager Construct is actually quite playable. A lot of people poo-pooed about this card, but your 2-drops are very necessary, and also has nice synergy with Built to Smash. I think I'm just going to take the Glint Sleeve Artisan, though. Haven't seen a ton of black, and Malphus Squad and Foundry Screecher are both great, but I think I'll just take the Glint Sleeve here. I think it's between that and Malphus Squad as the 2 best cards in the pack. Also nice that it has Fabricate. Kind of matches up with this Peam Outrider. Okay, so we got the Speedway Fanatic back in the Spireside Infiltrator. Speedway Fanatic is a pretty swingy card. If your opponent's playing a lot of Fabricate cards, it's obviously pretty bad with the 1 toughness. But it is a 2-drop, it does have haste, and it synergizes pretty well with the vehicles, which this deck is looking to play at least 1 and maybe 2 and possibly even 3. I'm just going to take the Speedway Fanatic here. Try to get that 2-drop slot filled up a little bit. Wait for everybody else to make their picks. And we have another Malphus Squad. There's a Spontaneous Artist and a Thriving Grubs. I'm just going to take the Thriving Grubs here. Again, it's a 2-drop. Thriving Grubs is good. It's good with our Voltaic Brawler as well. There's also Spontaneous Artist, which is a good card, but I'm just going to take the Grubs. Probably not going to be white. We're probably just going to be red-green at this point. There's a Wayward Giant. The card's fine. There's also a Fast Monitor. I think I'm more inclined to pick this, especially with Bolt to Smash. I think we can pick up more Wayward Giants later on. And I think we don't have any 3s right now. I'll just take the Fast Monitor. Well, there's another Built to Smash, which I will happily take. There's also a Built to Last in Spec. That's really the only other playable. And then Takedown is a sideboard card. Perhaps we could wheel the Creeping Mold or that Appetite. I doubt we'll wheel the Appetite, but the Creeping Mold is likely. It's not as good as Appetite by any means, being sorcery speed and 4 mana, but you will take it if you're hurting for enchantment removal or artifact removal. So Fire Weaver and a Sage. We're the energy deck at this point, so I'm just going to take the Sage. I think at least 1 Sage is playable. It's not like the best card in the world. It's very average, but if you have a lot of energy payoffs, it's definitely worth running. Well, there's another Built to Smash. Sweet. We've already got 3 Built to Smash in our deck. That's excellent. When the Creeping Mold came back, which is great. I'm going to keep it in the sideboard. I don't think Creeping Mold is main deckable, whereas the Appetite is. I think 3 mana instant speed is a huge thing versus 4 mana and sorcery speed. So if you're really hurting for removal and you weren't able to pick up any Appetites, you can definitely play this, but I would keep it in the sideboard. So this deck is turning out pretty good so far. There's a Torch Gauntlet, which I'm probably not going to play. This card is actually a little bit better than it looks. It's not as good as Inventor's Goggles, but if you really need an effect like this, it's certainly playable. I have main decked it before. Well, we opened a Dovenbon. Unfortunately, it's not even close to our colors. There's a Arborback Stomper, which appears to be the best card in the deck. Visionary Augmenter is great, but we're pretty solidly red-green at this point. And the only red card in the pack is a very medium one, Spireside Infiltrator. So I think we'll just take the Arborback Stomper. I'm just curious. I'm going to look up Dovin Bond's value online. I don't think he's very high. I'm probably not going to take it anyway. I am streaming here, and I don't want to pick it just for like a value perspective, but I do think it's worth looking up at least. $1.42? Yeah, not even close. We'll take the Arbor X Stomper and be pretty happy with ourselves. Well, there's a freighter. We're not going to pass that. There's no other red card or green card that we want in this pack. And this card is just excellent. The best common. Fateful Showdown. That's a good one. There's also a Seed Sculptor. I wheeled Fateful Showdown on more than one occasion. I'm tempted to take the Seed Sculptor to continue to cut green and see if I can wheel this. Because a lot of people don't like to play red in this format. And like I said, I have seen this wheel on more than one occasion. Might take the chance here. I already have 3 built to smash and a hunt the week. I'm not sure that we even want to play this card anyway. Or, I mean, I'm not going to say we wouldn't play it. I just don't think it's as good in this deck as it is in others. So I'm just going to take our 2-drop. Kujar Seed Sculptor is great. Okay, well, Furious Reprisal, and there's also a Deadlock Trap. This is interesting. This card is sometimes great and sometimes awful. Like, if you're playing against this green deck with a bunch of 4/4s and 5/5s, this does nothing. There's also Spontaneous Artist, but I think I'm going to take the Deadlock Trap. I do have a lot of energy payoffs, or I do have a lot of energy cards that would help run this, and this is basically a falter every turn. I think this is an interesting card. I think I'm going to just play it. Enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, so you can attack with the grubs and then get 2 more energy the next turn. Defeat it again if you want. Or you can save your energy and just falter every turn. I think it's more of a control card, so I might just not play it. Okay, DePaula is interesting. There's also a Veteran Mode, so 2 red-white cards. Is DePaula worth splashing, though? It's a very powerful card for sure. We don't have any... currently have any cards to pick up the splash, which is kind of unfortunate. So I think I might just have to pass the DePaula and take the Spire Side instead. That's the only other card that we would play in this pack. And it's a little bit better now that we have our vehicle. And it is good in attacking. We have 3 built to smash, so I think I might just start trying to pick these up if I see them. I'm just going to take the Spire Side. Well, here's a Sky Skiff. There's also another Appetite here. I do think Sky Skiff is decent. Appetite or Sky Skiff? Sky Skiff is really good with build to smash. Yeah, I think I'll take the Skiff. Well, there's absolutely nothing here for me, so I'm just going to draft. There's just black and blue cards. Black is so wide open. And Ceremonious Rejection is pretty good. I actually think this is a decent amount of tickets on Moto right now. Well, there's a Glass Brothers Puzzle Knot, which I would not play. There's a Renegade Tactics and a Malphus squad. I think Renegade Tactics is playable. I don't know if it will make the main deck, but I have main decked this card before. I'm just not sure that we need it. We already have 3 build to smash. I'm just going to take it anyway. There's another Spire Side, which I'll gladly play. We don't have any 3-drop green cards. I really do need some Thriving Rhinos. It's possible we may not just play this. I kind of feel like this is more of a control card than an aggressive card, because this deck wants to be using its energy aggressively, and I don't have any ways to balance it like a Decoction module or whatever. So it's probably just not going to be played. Maybe that was the wrong pick that I made earlier, but from what I remember of that pack, there wasn't a whole lot else for us. Okay, so this pack's terrible. I'll just take the Ruinous Gremlins. We're not gonna splash for something like this. This card is very medium. I told you. I told you that would wheel. I'll just continue to cut red. I'll just take the best black card. And actually, Night Market Lookout. I've seen Newmont the Nummy build decks with like 4 or 5 new lookouts and just a whole bunch of vehicles. That's pretty fun. This card's a lot more playable than it initially looked. I like a lot of cards in Kaladesh. They're very hard to evaluate. Wow, that's a very late make obsolete. Okay, Wildest Dreams. That card is good, but haven't had a lot of success running this in the more aggressive deck like I'm playing. Because usually if I haven't won by the time this gets to 2 or even 3, I'm losing pretty badly. I think the pick for us is going to be this Seed Sculptor. Like last time I played this in an aggressive deck, it did not go well. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you think that I'm wrong to not play that. But I think the Seed Sculptor is going to be the pick here. Yeah, I'm just going to slam the Seed Sculptor. Well, there's a Bowmat Courier for our 3 Built to Smashes, but there's also a Welding Sparks. Yeah, I can't pass this. This is the best red card. The best red common. There's also an Appetite. So maybe we could wheel the Bowmat Courier and I would consider playing it. Especially since we have 2 Seed Sculptors, so like bump it up to a 2/2 or whatever. Okay. So there's a Decoction module. I don't think that's the one we want. I think we want the other one where every time you get an energy, you get a +1/+1 counter. I don't think we're looking to dirtle with the Decoction module here. Especially when we have 3 Built to Smash. I think we just want to kill them. So there's a Well-Fast Monitor and a Sage. I think we can wheel the Sage. I'm going to pick the Well-Fast Monitor. It goes good with our Built to Smashes. Other card that we would consider getting up late if we don't get back the Sage is the Wayward Giant. Oh, that's great. Harness Lightning is exactly what we want on our deck. And we have more than enough removal now. Between the 3 Built to Smashes, this Harness Lightning, a Welding Sparks, and a Hunt the Weak, we're set. So now at this point, we just really want to fill out the rest of our creature curve. Well, I say that, and there's a Durable Handicraft here, but there's also a Riparian Tiger, which is just great. This is not a Durable Handicraft deck. We just want to kill him quick. So I'm just going to take the Tiger. Tiger's a good energy payoff. Goes a 6/6 on turn 6 when you attack with it. Everything about this card is really good. Really sad that we haven't got any Thriving Rhinos, though. I think a lot of people are just overvaluing Thriving Rhinos now. The card is great, don't get me wrong. It's probably in the running for best common between that and the Pima Outrider. The thing about Pima Outrider is that there are a lot of good 4s, and so not as many good 3s, where the Thriving Rhino is really good. But lately I just haven't really seen a lot of those. Okay, so there's a Salivane Gremlins, which is, we have 4 artifacts, so it's not great. We do have this Pima Outrider that fabricates as well. I think the pick here is just the Renegade, though. It makes 4 energy and you can start pinging guys. So I'm just going to pick that, because I don't think this Salivane Gremlins is that great in this particular deck. Okay, so there's a veteran motorist, which is a good card, but not something I'm going to play. There's a cathartic union, which I think is pretty good. I think it's too late to try to get on the self-assembler train because you need 2 of these for it to be decent. We're not going to be playing Wild Wonder, so I'm just going to take the cathartic reunion. Okay, driving grubs. There's also a fairgrounds trumpeter. Jeez. And this deck has a lot of ways to get counters, right? So it has the seed sculptors, the driving grubs, hunt the weak, and a payment outrider. And I think we're going to take the trumpeter over the grubs. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, well there's another cathartic union. I'm not looking to run 2 of these. And here's an R Express, which actually in this deck is not that difficult to crew. This is something I'm probably just going to put in the sideboard. I could also take the takedown, but I really have not liked this card, even in the sideboard. It's just been very medium to bad. So I'm just going to take the Express. Okay, well there's our Appetite, which we will main deck. It's also an Inventor's Goggles, but how many Artificers do we have? 1. So it's obviously not very good. We'll take the Appetite. Okay, Wayward Giant is definitely good. Terror of the Fairgrounds is more like Terror of the Failgrounds, so we'll just take the Giant. This is going to be our 17 land deck. Giant Spectacle, we'll take it, but we're not playing it. Sky Swirl Hair is pretty late. Alright, let's finish up this draft here, Moto. Another Giant Spectacle? Sure. And this could be somewhat useful, depending. And Basic Mountain. So that finishes up our draft. We're going to have to cut 5 cards here. Let's group our creatures separately. Let's see. I don't think we want to run this Cathartic Reunion. If we need to start cutting, then that's where we start. There's also this Sage, which I think we could cut. I think we want at least 16 creatures. So let's cut the Sage. Well, actually Sage is pretty good with Harness Lightning too, isn't it? Meh. Meh. Let's see. Cut the Cathartic Reunion. Maybe cut the Wayward Giant because we have enough 5s. Man, we don't really have any 4s except for this. Is this going to be like a 16 land deck maybe? It is nice that this Sage powers up the Aether Torch Renegade. So cut 2. So I think if we're attacking, this card might not be that good. Maybe this is just something that we side in. Like it's really good against decks with X1s like servos and all that, but I think I'm just going to cut that. And then the other cut, and this is kind of a creature. Yeah, that's the other thing about Aether Torch Renegade is it doesn't crew the Renegade Freighter, whereas all my other creatures will, except for these if I put the counter on something else. And so Fateful Showdown I'm not sure about. I think it's good. I think it's worth running. Maybe it's the Sky Skiff that's the cut. We have a lot of 2s. Yeah, I think I'll cut the Sky Skiff. I think that's correct. And this is going to be like a 9-8 deck, or an 8-8 deck. And we'll combine our groups and sort by color, just to make sure. Yep. So we have some double green here. We have 3 built to smash, the Harness Lightning, the Welding Sparks, and the Hunt the Weak. That's a lot of removal. And even a Fateful Showdown. But yeah, we're going to try this and see how it goes.